So today we're going to talk about Rowe Capital Group. So yesterday we kind of talked in big picture about some of the stuff we've done as a company. So what we're going to kind of show now is more case studies of some of companies that we've helped with different parts of their capital raise process here. I think I control this, he said. I'll let Jackie, the attorney, do all the disclaimer talk here.
Read the slide in full, word to word. No, we're not going to be talking about any specific securities. We're not selling any securities. If you are going to buy a security, make sure you read the PPM, the prospectus.
Yeah, no, so this is just, like, even if the stuff here in the video that we're going to show here now, potentially.
Interested in investing in cryptocurrency? Diversify your portfolio. Currency mining has on the environment. We have a solution. It's called CryptoWell. CryptoWell uses eco-friendly technological infrastructure to generate power for cryptocurrency mining. Accredited investors go to RoweCapitalGroup.com to power your portfolio with sustainable crypto mining.
So what we've done for this company is we had about 3 videos for them. So this is just kind of the teaser video that something's coming down the road for them. And then we have a little bit longer video that actually shows the process of what CryptoWell's doing. Because when we're doing these campaigns to get people to be interested in whatever project we're doing, it takes time. So it's, hey, is it an Instagram feed? Is it something else to get to the right market? Is it something that we're sitting down with clients and showing them? So what CryptoWell does is they are a very kind of complex thing, maybe not in this room in particular, but to the general public. CryptoWell is a company that came to us. They are using natural gas, so the flaring of natural gas, to power a generator, and then in turn power their mining stations, their ASICs and everything else within a storage container. So that is a very complex story to tell to the general public. This room I can say it very quickly and people understand what I'm talking about. We also have another part that talks about the ESG side of the house, right? A lot of people talking about that for investing. And we have a part that talks about the natural gas. Also being in Texas, and also it's a little bit easier, they have the flaring because they have to get to a certain point before they can pull the petroleum off and everything else. So that's why you see the flaring and other parts. So that's kind of how CryptoWell actually helps with the ESG, is they're taking a waste and they're actually turning it into something else in an industry where, people are talking about crypto and everything else using excess natural resources. We help explain that in this scenario here, we can actually help with that. And with Texas being very, with the blockchain council and everything else, they're actually looking at tax credits down the road as well for this. This is not something that we're even targeting in these videos, but it is something there. People that don't know, in Texas, the Railroad Commission oversees all the gas and systems there. So they get paid first pretty much before anybody else does. It's very transparent. So even in this scenario, when the flaring goes, the state of Texas has the opportunity to be paid. We hear so much of crypto being, using electricity in other places in the system and draining the network of electricity. This one is actually doing the opposite, where the state's getting paid and it's not doing that. So we helped this company take this very complex concept, create a series of videos from them that range between, the 10-second teaser up to about a 3-minute video that actually explains that whole process. And then our print team worked on the print side to actually create diagrams and everything else to explain the on all the slides here. So that's kind of what our team does for this side of marketing, to help companies come onto the platform, onto other places to get their capital raise, and they don't have to do anything with our platform. People come to us because they just need marketing. People come to us because they need servicing. So CryptoWell has been a very exciting project for us. And as they're doing their data or the beta test here, we hope they come back and use us for the next round of what they're doing, because they want to expand out and do more of these containers throughout the area here and not just potentially in the States. So as we move forward here, I got to kind of lean forward. You can see the remote monitoring. So we kind of break out all these different parts for them in their pitch deck as well. So that way in their pitch deck, they can explain it to people as well. So they have the longer video in there when they're doing these one-on-one pitches as their own company doing their capital raise. And I'll turn it over to Jackie here to talk about another company that we helped called Impact Naturals.
Thank you. Yeah, so what's so cool about that? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but an entrepreneur that needs to focus on running their business, if they've got a complex story like this, you can spend all your time figuring out how to explain your story to the public, or you can use other resources and get that kind of support. Like our group, like Rowe Media, will offer, these videos, the print. We'll distill something and make it more accessible for people so that those entrepreneurs can go focus on running their company. The reason this case study is so cool, Impact Naturals is a technology company and a medical company. They have like 19 patents that have allowed them to really have a highly efficient lipid transport delivery system for their product. They had a fantastic offering package put together by a professional team. It was beautiful, gorgeous PPM, really robust, marketing material. But then they had nowhere to take that content, and it just kind of sat on a little website, and they were unable to bring in $1. So going to this point about supporting those companies as they're trying to raise capital so they can focus on their business, what we're doing for Impact Naturals is taking those fantastic materials and then helping them access people in their network and in ours so that they can focus on running their business. So for Impact Naturals, we will help them with their offering documents and getting that really robust offering package, more exposure. And then after they raise $1, we're going to be helping this group on the back end so that all of their investors have a really robust experience, can get updates on their investments, can receive a welcome call, quarterly updates, any sort of financial modeling that they'd like to see. And so this is where the value comes in. When a company goes out to raise capital, they may not understand how much goes into it, how much needs to go into it to make it successful. So our goal is to offer all of that support so that they can go out, have a successful raise, and also focus on running their business.
Naturals that we helped on the marketing side, they have a phenomenal marketing team, but their marketing team focuses on marketing to consumers and getting their information out in that way. None of their team was set up to do the marketing for a financial raise, which we all know you have to go through FINRA. There's all these other steps to making sure all the material's compliant. So while they had a great team, I think initially they thought they could do a lot of this themselves, and then we started coming in and saying, hey, let us help craft the message to get to the right individual for your product here and help you set this up to be successful. So that's where we're at right now with them, is helping them develop all these other tools to grow as a company here. So just kind of some of their general marketing here. They've won awards. They best CBD at the West Expo. They've done a lot of stuff as a company, and it should be easier for them to raise their capital. Granted, it is a space where there are some legalities to it, and can people what can they do with CBD and all this other stuff. So it's a little bit different, but they have great packaging. They have stuff that they're doing reusable package, not reusable, eco-friendly packaging. So they're doing a lot of stuff to help the environment as well on their part there. So here is our kind of Rowe as a whole on other services that we do beyond just helping these companies as we go. So the companies here at Rowe, we have the whole back-end servicing. So once that $1 comes in, it's helping you take that off of your plate to go to the next part so you can focus on your day-to-day. It's us coming in and helping with, between us and our partners, helping with K1s, 1099s, getting those things set up for your investors so they can have that part coming back. It's that ongoing communications with the companies here.
I think what's interesting is we're learning there's a lot of points in the capital raise process where something can stall out. Whether you have a fantastic package put together, but then you don't bring in $1 because no one is seeing that material, or your targeted audience isn't understanding your material. There are so many points in the process where you can make good progress and then just hit a wall. So as a group, we have become adept at identifying all those different points in the process and helping these groups move through them successfully.
This is how we use Vertalo. So a lot of us are here because we partner with Vertalo on different parts. So Vertalo for us, I saw Nathan somewhere. There he is. Nathan. They really help on the front end part. So when the investor portal, the company portal, so they can see, the companies can come in and see their product. They can see where they're at. They can see like little, kind of check marks in the simplicity part here on their side. Was investor communications done this month? Was this done? Kind of all these points where they can come in and do the day-to-day of it. And then on the back end, it ties into our platform where it allows the data to live there and allows our accounting team to view access of stuff so they can see the projects they need to see. It allows the media to see their timelines on what they need to see to get stuff live. It ties all these pieces together. It allows Jackie's legal team with another program we have for corporate compliance. Or corporate compliance and governance. It allows her to see where the blue skies are filed. We talked about blue skies yesterday on the main stage, and each one of those have a different refiling period as well. It's not just there's UCC filings as well. If there's if a company chooses to have a UCC backed project, then we help with that part as well. So there's a lot of places where it comes, and one of our goals here is to get companies into the PPM process from the get-go. If they want to do a secondary offering down the road, why are we not putting that in the PPM from the get-go so people can see down the road that I know this investment that I'm doing from day one has a chance to go to the secondary market versus getting a random disclosure in the mail saying, hey, we may do this. So if we can design these from the get-go forward and having forward thinking, this really helps us as we grow.
Does anybody know offhand what percentage of startups make it? And I think Tom was talking about this in his introduction. There's, you can launch a company and then shoot for the moon. Great. How many companies actually make it to the moon? And then once you make it there, how do you reach a successful exit? And how many companies are able to successfully do that? I would bet that the fraction is so small. And there are a lot of worthy companies out there that if we can help them elevate their level of professionalism, help them navigate some of these initial steps, we are facilitating, so much more potential for these companies to make it and to get to the moon and then have a successful exit. I want to guess it's like 0.2%. That's just a random guess, but you get my point. There are a lot of worthy companies, worthy businesses out there, but if they can't navigate some of these first steps, it's not going to go anywhere. So we're all benefited by helping these companies along, make it through some of these initial funding stages.
Yeah, so we're talking about our platform here, between the Vertalo team and then our team right here, Kelly, Tony, and Angela. They are phenomenal at servicing. So they all come from a very different backgrounds where it's healthcare, it's mortgage backing. So there's a lot of different stuff where they come from that have a lot of other regulatory parts. And then over the time, they have taken a lot of other industries and other things they've seen in other sectors to help create this back end that works and is useful for investors. They take the stuff from the healthcare side of patients and how to protect that data. So we have this part here. We have these partners in the room here, and then we have a handful of other IT partners that help with security and making sure everybody's data is secure on the platform and the company information is there. So it's really a start to finish shop here where we allow these companies to focus on their day-to-day and help them with their business growth. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not sure timing. I know we're a little bit behind schedule with the...
We got 5 minutes now.
The advertising, right? What is the extent that you create? You do video advertising. Is it short form? You do long form advertising?
So that's a great question. So we do everything from we do it in 20-second or 30-second increments. So it really depends on how long it is and how complex the topic is. We did one for a reinsurance company that is a very complex topic to go to wire reinsurance something, right? And our media team probably spent beforehand about 20 hours with the group to figure out what they were talking about and how it actually worked. And then they were able to sit down with them, interview about 3 different team members of the company, and turned it into about a 20-minute video. Now, I highly doubt if I said hey, show of hands, how many people are going to watch a 20-minute video? Not many people. So then we have it long form where they can see it, but then we also have it broken down into snippets where then we can do stuff as a slow release drip campaign. We can do the whole video, and usually that's more like if the company's looking for a one-on-one a meeting. And then the other part the media helps with as well is webinars. So again, a lot of the time it's the company's leadership in their own voice, telling it to the people that they're trying to do their pitch to. So we can, host the webinar, get everybody in there, and have a moderator. So our media team comes from a very diverse background as well. So our chief media person, she is a 2-time Emmy winner. So she used to help produce SportsCenter as well, and has done stuff with CBS for years. So she understands how, as a journalist, to tell the story. And then our other person is a film school graduate, so he understands angle shots, how to make everything snippets, how to do everything in a format that works. Together, we also outsource when we're doing moderation. We have a couple local news anchors that are professional, and they know how to do the interviewing process and how to guide it. If there's questions, how to wrangle people in, so they're not like me just up here rambling. They know how to tie those parts in. So hopefully that answers your question.
This is the Digital Assets Conference. These are actually digital assets we're talking about in a way. In our society, with this new way of investing that we talked about, content and the quality of that content matters. This 20-minute video that he was talking about, I don't think this group would hesitate to bring it into a top-level institutional investor space. You could walk into a bank on Wall Street with this video and sell yourself. So it really raises the level of professionalism, reputation of these companies, which again helps advance what they're trying to do.
And their video that they used for that reinsurance, like their main audience they were showing was Lloyd's of London. So it was not a small place they were showing it to. That's who their target audience was for what they were doing as a company. Any other questions?
There's time for one more.
One more?
What's your criteria for selecting a proper time or fit for your program?
You want to take that one or me too?
Loads of due diligence.
Yeah.
And there is a team, and I'm talking 10, 15, sometimes 20 people, both internal and external, that look at these projects. I mean, what did Tom say? We get under the kimono. It is an intensive process, and we're proud of that. There's a huge round of diligence, multiple meetings, any document you can think of. We're going to request it and want to look at it. It is meeting the characters, the personalities behind the team. We want to hear what their plan is for their company, and we want to know also how open they are to being guided in their plan, because we've got, like Steve, you want to talk about, he sits on the board of a tech startup. And you have served several. Mm-hmm. So our team has a robust experience in the verticals that we're in. We don't go into spaces that we're not familiar with, but we've got huge background in real estate, commercial real estate, tech startups, energy. So we're working with these groups, and with all of our backgrounds, we're going in, and I like to think we ask the right questions to get at whether this would be a good fit.
Yeah, and if not, because there's times where companies come in with a fantastic concept and it may not work for us, we also have the networks to saying, hey, this person over here can take what you're trying to do and they're going to be the better part. We're not up here saying, hey, we are the best of everything across the spectrum. Nobody should be up here saying that. We are good at what we do, and then we have a very big network of people saying, hey, I think what you're looking for is this company over here that can help you with an alternative financing method. You may not need a capital raise as well. So there's other times where it's us redirecting somebody and getting them to the right part. Because at the end of the day, when we're trying to match, everybody together, our main objective is to provide higher quality material and then to reduce the cost of capital for people. If there's a way to make it cheaper and the companies get more money in their bank accounts to actually be successful, that's what we want these companies to do. And sometimes that may not be with us. And I think that's one part here that, if a company's willing to tell you that we will find the place to help you. We do that constantly to make sure people get to the right partner that can help them.